Right, so the question I'm going to ask is, do you believe FSG will sanction a big summer of spending? I guess it's difficult to quantify what a big summer is, but, you know, do you have the belief that they're going to do what needs to be done this summer, basically? And we'll see how people feel. We'll come back to it in 20 minutes or so, and we'll see what people feel. Mark Harding said, FSG talk too much, heard the same big summer spend story for years, players in will be offset by players out. See that, Mark, that last sentence there, I have a similar thought process, mate. That Darwin's money will pay for the centre forward, and the wages saved by the lads will be amortised to make the new player and signings okay. But I guess the problem, Mark, is, how do I say this? I don't really care how it's financed as long as it's done. So I want the club to do good business. I don't want the club to go out and overpay for players. I want them to get the most they can for the players they're selling, and I want them to refresh the squad as cost effectively as possible. But it has to be done with the right calibre of player. If it's a case where we're taking a punt on players again who may come good enough, then we're basically back to the days of Barini and players like that, and we should be past that now. So if they've made that decision that it's a big change summer, they have to execute it, or else P45s need to be issued and Hughes needs to be sacked, because we struggle as fans right now to understand what Hughes and Edwards have done for the season. Right? After they've got in Arnott and the coaches, what else have they done? They can only have been working on the summer and in the future. And if they haven't been doing that, then they've been stealing a living. So, again, there's no hiding place this summer. It has to be sorted out. There's nowhere to hide. 1 in, 1 out isn't enough to move us forward, said Cal. It absolutely isn't, Cal. Sorry, this one. It absolutely isn't, mate. You're right. 1 in, 1 out gets us back to where we are. But we need more. So we'll need 7 players, in my mind. If we lose the 3 lads, we need 7 players. And that's without losing any more. And then, yeah. But you know what's been the biggest crime of all to me, Cal? Is that these bastards have ruined the enjoyment of a season for so many of us. Because like I've said all the way through, it's great what we're doing and we're winning, but it's looking again more and more like it could be in isolation. And we've always had the big looming issue with the contracts hovering over us. And it's been horrible to be so torn this season between being so happy with where we are in the league and so fearful of the future. I can only speak for me, but it really has tainted my enjoyment of this season. I've never been able to fully enjoy and appreciate it because of that looming headache or the uncertainty. I, again, don't know if others feel the same, but yeah, it's been tough. Look, some people can compartmentalise these things, and God, I wish I was one of them. But you know me, I'm an emotional person. You know, I don't have the ability to separate these things. They're all the same to me. I want the club in a healthy position, full stop. How have we made a loss with wages going up? Our biggest earners got sold. Who's getting paid? Spirit of Shankly, what are they doing? I've long asked that question about who's exactly on the wage bill. Because like you've said, mate, wages have gone up for a season we weren't in the Champions League. And I read one article that said delayed Champions League payments to players from the season when we were in the Champions League were an unforeseen cost. And I just thought, how the fuck could it be an unforeseen cost? You delayed the payments to them, so how is it an unforeseen cost? So there's been lots of stuff, Roy, that many people have concerns about. I don't know how that wage bill went up when you moved off Thiago, you moved off Joel Matip, you moved off Adrian, and you didn't bring in anybody else really. And we didn't renew any contracts. So it's really difficult for me as a fan to figure out how the wage bill went up. Unless, you know, who much are the executives getting? How much are others around the club? I don't know, mate, but it all stinks. And I've talked to people who are far more clued in on the financial side of things than I would be, and they can't make head nor tails of it either. So 63% said no of 1,200 people that voted. 63% said they don't feel that FSG will sanction a big summer of spending, and 36% or 37% said yes. Yeah, let's wait and see.